Morning everybody. So this morning it's a bit chilly. This morning I'm wearing green, and the reason I'm wearing green is because I'm going to be talking about improving in a way that I learned something, and I learned something over the last 2 weeks that I didn't expect to learn. It's how what should have been a red piece of behavior with a client, where I was just reflecting back to them my plans to help them deliver a session for their graduate management trainees, how it basically taught me something that I'd forgotten, and it had quite an emotional impact on me, and so I thought I had to share it here today. So before I do, let's just talk quickly about the colours. You've got the green behaviours: thinking, communicating and improving. Those are the things that if you do them in the right proportion and you have them in your diary the right amount, will take you, your people and your organisation up, make things better. And there's the amber behaviours: monitoring and directing, just 2 of those. Those are the things that will stop things from going backwards and manage risk managing. Then there's red, doing, and brown, floating. Those are the things, if you have them in your diary too much, will take you, your people and your business backwards, make things worse. And then there's blue behaviour. That's about living. That's about where you get to recharge, stop yourself from getting burnout, look after your physical, spiritual and mental well-being. So a couple of weeks ago, I was delivering some feedback to a client. They'd asked me to do a proposal to deliver a day of training to their management trainees going into their 2nd year, and this is what I did. It was in 4 parts, and the first part was about showing them what they are doing with their time right now, what they would ideally love to be doing with their time, the blue stuff, and also getting a sense from them about what is important and what is expected of them. That was part 1. The second part was actually going and taking a break for an hour and starting to do the blue stuff for 1 hour. Just something they just really want to do, go and do it for an hour. Really simple. Part 3 was where they book a meeting with their manager and they sit down and they talk about what they think is expected of them, and they agree it. They just have a conversation with their manager. And then part 4 was where I teach them a method that helps them to do it from then on, to be able to plan their time, to be able to do what is expected of them. Now, the thing that really caught me was after I'd shared this plan, the sponsor, I suppose, turned around and said, do you know what I really love about that? I love part 3, where they actually get to sit down with their manager and talk about what's expected of them, and they get to agree it. And it had quite an effect on me, because it reminded me of why I got into this in the first place. I left a 20-year career because of a feeling of exasperation around toxic management. And not because managers were toxic, but it's because managers had lost sight, or maybe never ever had sight of what is expected of them. And that's why I came out, to change that story. And when that person said, I love the fact that you're basically getting people to sit down with their manager and have a conversation, I thought it was quite tragic that something so basic, something that should be the absolute hygiene factor, just sitting down and talking to your boss about stuff or about agreeing what's expected of you, how is it that should be such a revelation? Why should that add so much value? It should be the very basic of things that managers should be doing. And it made me realise that over the last 4 years, my story had started to waver. I'd been talking to people who I thought would listen to what Diary Detox can do for them, instead of talking to the people who need it the most. This is about changing the existing story of management, and about getting people away from a place where they want to leave their job, they are burnt out, they're miserable, and their manager is the worst part of their job, to a place where they want to stay in their role because they honestly believe that their manager is invested in helping them get the best out of themselves, and also in creating the conditions where they can do their best in their job. That's what this is all about. It is a performance method. It is a performance management method. This is a method that managers can use to manage their people in a better way. And I'd lost sight of that. And as I was reflecting that story back to somebody on Friday, I actually started to cry. Not sadness. It was almost this, I've refound why I'm doing this. I've realized why I'm doing this. And now I need to be talking to those people. So today is the start of that. Bit of catharsis, bit of sharing to you. And it just goes to show that you can be doing something rare, that delivery, that just normal day-to-day stuff you do, and you can learn something out of it. It can become green very, very quickly. So yeah, not quite sure why I shared that, but I felt like I needed to. And after I spoke to Rachel Savage, my brand story lady, she said to me, you've got to share that story. That's part of your story. So thank you, Rachel. That's it for today. Don't know what that does for you, but I'd love to hear your comments. In the meantime, have a great day. Have a great week.